Welcome to Season 3, Episode 6 of the Spivey Special Podcast. We got Troy over at his house. How you doing, Troy?
I'm doing good. I'm a little warmer than you look right now. Please don't stand up. I don't want to lose any eyeballs. But the big man can't pick them as good when something's on the line. So week one goes dominant. I went a little Uncle Phil, in the pool hall on him. Just hustled him, and now we're looking at this goddess right now. I'm about to put my sunglasses on.
We are very strategically cropped right now. So you are
it's a crop top maybe he's wearing.
So you are unaware of how cold I actually am right now. All right, Troy. Let's go ahead and get loose. I'm pretty loose. All right, Troy. Tell us about... You went to 2 breweries because I think you're a raging alcoholic, but tell us about our 2 trips that we did this week.
10 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, so we went, this one was on a Saturday. This past Saturday, we went to Out of Bounds in Rockland, not the Folsom location. Pretty cool little brewery. Zach and my dad, they went and got the round flight and tried all 12 of the drinks that they had there. Some of them were delicious and some of them were tough to get down, not taste wise, but one I think was 20%.
Yeah, that number 11, that was basically like drinking Jägermeister, but it tasted better than Jägermeister.
Yeah, that was a rough one. You could look like 2 other people had flights and that was the only one left on the other people's flight circle. So definitely go back there. It was good. It had a lot of board games and stuff for the kids, I guess, or for the adults. So we got a good table over in the corner. Wasn't bad. Of the 3 we've been to so far, it's top 3. So that's how I feel about that one. And then we went I'm on vacation this week, so I had to go get a new Gap wedge, as you do on a Tuesday night. So
yeah, we got the tournament coming up.
Yeah, 2.5 weeks. My dad and I went over to Mosca there in Rockland. We only have 1 page of stamps. We have 4 now. So that one was good, but those were some grown men beers that they had. They have a ton of beers and they do them like kind of in like a rotation. Because the last time I had one at a friend's house, I went to order that one because it was so good and they didn't even have it on their list right now. So I'm actually drinking one of the Mosca beers if you're watching along with us. This one's called How Are You Doing? And it's a nice little hazy IPA.
Does it say it like Joey in parentheses underneath it?
How are you doing? Because the R's in there. It's How Are You Doing?
Oh, okay. Well,
they probably couldn't.
That's less exciting then.
Yeah, they probably couldn't put How You Doing on there because they get like copyright infringement or whatever.
I'm sure you could. Although Breaking Bud did get sued, so maybe they could.
We need to get there soon. I got 81 left on our little beer passport. Zach's chasing 82. We'll get there.
We got a like on our stream. That's very exciting. Michaeline, thank you for that. I hope I said that right. I'm probably not, so you can unlike the stream now.
Yeah, you can unlike I told you we get all this random just because of that shirtlessness of you.
Yeah, that's
We're gonna have
that's.
to start an OnlyFans page for you.
It'll cost you. I got to try to not to laugh too much so you don't see me jiggle. All right, I think we're good and loose now. Let's move into baseball. I know we're gonna go super big into NFL, but let's get some baseball. We've got 12 games left, 11 games left. Let's move into
Approximately,
that
huh?
was a
Mm.
bunt.
Yeah, probably about a week and a half left. We got some pretty good races now. Unfortunately, one of my least favorite teams in the MLB is just Hansel right now. That's how hot they are. After tonight, they got another win against the Brewers. They've won 11 in a row and now have a 4.5 game lead on the second wild card there.
I
So
don't like that.
whoever wins the division in the West there, the loser will probably have to host the Cardinals because they're up like 15 games on the Cardinals. So I think they've locked into the first wild card spot.
Yeah, they can't not win it. But some team's gonna have like 105 wins and not, or and then
They'll
have to.
host a playoff game.
I guess so. One game
And
playoff though in baseball. That's crazy. I don't even know who
yeah,
it's gonna be the Dodgers. I basically have made peace with that. I don't know who they're pitching. I guess they would be Scherzer,
yeah.
Urias,
I mean,
not Bueller. Bueller's been
no,
rough the last two starts.
I think Scherzer's got like a .7 since he came over,
Yeah,
9 starts or whatever it is. You have to. Guy has, the pedigree. He's been there before. Old man. He's short leash on him.
yeah.
Cardinals are scrappy. You guys can
Everyone's
never
available
seem to
that
beat the
game.
Cardinals.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
But yeah, so Giants are up 3-0 currently. They have a game lead on the
Gross.
Dodgers. The Dodgers are down, I believe 10-5 now. You just told us before we got on here.
Yeah,
So it's looking like
we're not looking at that one anymore.
a 2-game advantage for the Giants with about 11 or 10 or 11 left. Doable,
Yep,
but when the Giants don't lose, it's hard to catch them.
absolutely. All right, Sherry, tell me about this AL wild card. You say it's getting
This one,
spicy.
it is. It's spice.
I saw the Red
Red
Sox
Sox
were on top. What else we got going?
Red Sox red hot. I believe they've won 7 in a row, so they got, I believe, a 2-game lead. They're going to be most likely the first wild card there, and then it's another two AL East teams battling for the second one. The Yankees and the Blue Jays are currently a half game apart when I looked. So I mean, any of those three teams, it could flip flop. The A's were in it. They choked away. They're about 4 out, I think.
Classic Ace.
Mariners are in it, but they had the same record going into the night. And I think the Mariners were up 4-1. So it's hard. Again, it's hard to catch teams and jump teams that don't lose.
Yep.
So the Red Sox have gotten, old Kyle Schwarber there, 2016 World Series champ with the Cubs, hit 2 bombs tonight, which I always check. So
Nice.
rooting for him.
All right. We got any other
Give a
baseball
little,
takes?
Give a little love to Salvi Perez there. Most home runs as a catcher. Sure, some of them I believe were as a DH, but he got to the 46 mark as a catcher. That's pretty impressive.
That's a lot of
Most
home
of
runs for a
them
catcher.
20 to 25 and hitting 250, and you're thrilled with your catcher. So Salvi doing big things.
Gotta love that. I
Gotta
love when
love it.
catchers do well.
On a bad team too. A lot of them would kind of just phone it in.
Yeah. Love it. All right, I think that's all we got for baseball. Let's get wild. We had another big football week to talk about. We got picks to make for next week. We've got new pick challenges that we have to discuss. Luckily, next week, regardless of what happens, I'll be wearing a shirt. So,
well, we'll see.
all right, let's move on to armchair long snappers. Let's do some NFL, Troy. Let's talk about week 2. Let's start with this Bills Dolphins game. This was one of the 4 that we picked different. I couldn't have been more wrong on this game. I picked the Dolphins, you picked the Bills. The Dolphins decided to not play, and the Dolphins just boat raced them. Tua gets hurt pretty early. I think it was 7-0 at that point.
Yeah, it was somewhat close when he got hurt, but anytime you're going to get when you're an average to below average team and your quarterback goes out, you usually are kind of a little bit behind eight ball. So the Bills, I think, already were the better team.
Well, I thought
I
coming
think
into
the
the
Steelers.
season they were going to be one of the best teams in the league. But that first week scared me because I don't think the Steelers are very good.
No, that's what's funny about the NFL and the overreacting like we did last week when you told us that famous Jameis was going to win the MVP. And
That
then
was
I
a
think
that was
he
an
got.
overreaction. That was part of the segment.
So, yeah, the Bills just went to town, and I'm very happy that they did. I thought it would be at least closer, though. But I think the final was like 35 nothing.
Yeah, it was rough. Michael Lean's Finns did not do very well. Hopefully they'll rebound this week. Although I don't know if I actually picked them or not. We'll check on that here in a minute. All right, let's
Just
talk
winging
about
it.
this Cowboys Chargers game. What a fun football game. Back and forth. Not a ton of
Chargers
defense.
gonna Chargers gonna Charger, man. That's just what they do.
I thought they
I'm
were
glad.
I thought they were becoming a new team. They won all those close games last year and then they just charged it away.
I'm just happy Eckler kind of showed up a little bit, so it was nice to see he wasn't really on a pitch count or kind of banged up. So seeing him used in the full force was exciting for me for my second round fantasy pick.
I was glad to see the Cowboys running game come back. Big game from Zeke. Tony Pollard had almost 100 yards rushing. I think he might have hit 100 at the end. They're turning it around. They'll have an extra lineman next week because Collins won't be suspended, I don't think. So
They might not have Amari though. He's questionable. I think he something with a rib. He only had
a
two
lot of ribs
catches.
this week. A lot of ribs this
Yeah,
week.
that's Zach's all about
Okay.
that. He's like, "Oh yeah, ribs, baby."
Can't see my ribs.
You must be like the doctor. Yeah, his ribs. What? He hurt his foot. Yeah, I like ribs.
No, Dak looks good. Herbert looks good.
No, I think those will be two teams. I think they'll be around. I think the Cowboys probably have. I know we're 2 weeks in and we flip flop every single week on who's going to win the division, who's going to go far, and all that. But I think the Cowboys have actually, I hate to say it out loud, but they've actually impressed me through the first 2 weeks. So Chargers the same way. I don't know. I mean, I think the Chiefs are going to run away with that division,
We'll see.
but I think they have
They're
a.
currently in
I think they
third.
have a chance. Yeah, I mean, when you run into a buzzsaw, like we'll talk about here in a little bit, it's kind of hard.
All right, next game. Bears Bengals was the other one we picked different. I wasn't super confident either way. This game was pretty close until Burrow decided to throw it to the Bears a whole bunch of times in a row.
Well, Bears defense played well. I think it was 7-0, and then they got to 14, and then a pick six or a fumble six or one of those. I had the Bears defense, so I was thrilled.
That worked out.
And then I think Dalton got hurt, and their offense kind of changed big time when Fields came in. Fields, I saw, is also going to be the starter this week.
Yep.
So if that helps you with your picks later, I hope it doesn't. I think they're going to lose anyways.
I don't know what to expect from Fields because he looked god awful when he came in, but he got
yeah,
no first team reps. I'm sure the game plan will be different when Fields is the quarterback. They'll probably have more designed runs and stuff, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, he came in. I mean, the Bengals made it close. I think it was only a 3-point game when it ended 20-17, I believe.
Michael Lean,
But they held
have
on.
an awesome night as well.
It's got to be Facebook. It's not on our Twitch.
It is on Facebook.
Nice. Okay, let's talk about the next one. This one, I don't think I'm going to pick either of these next two teams, the Niners and the Eagles. That game was kind of ugly.
Yeah, it ended up being a lot wider spread than it really was. The game was pretty close for most of the game until the very end.
I think the final was 17-11.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I think it was the Eagles had a 91-yard receiving play, and they didn't score. They didn't score a touchdown on that drive.
Yeah, that's insane.
The guy had 2 catches for 117
and no touchdown
in the first 2 possessions or something like that.
That's pretty crazy.
I don't know.
I don't know what to think about the Niners. I still don't know what to think about the Eagles. The Niners they've got the injury bug again this year, which is not what you want to have. Mm-hmm. Ayuk has 1 catch for like 6 yards for the season. I don't know what to make of that.
Yeah, he didn't even get a target week 1. I don't think.
No, he didn't. He has 1 target, 1 catch, 6 yards. That's the whole season. Debo has the biggest percentage of target share in the league. He's ahead of Cooper Kupp, that's a crazy list to be on if you're ahead of Cooper Kupp. He's getting all the balls right now. So I don't know what that offense is. I don't think they know what the offense is right now. But it's working. They're scoring a ton of points, so yes, Tyler, I did lose.
You missed it too. We both said that we are really impressed by the Cowboys for the first 2 weeks. So you missed that little plug. We can go back to it if you want. If you're not too turned on.
We're strategically cropped at a very specific point. All right,
All right. So those were the 4 games. 3 of them went my way. 1 of them went your way, and that's why, as everyone can see, you're not wearing a shirt.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to another game that we both missed. I didn't believe in the Ravens. Oh, we should have. They beat the Ravens, so we know that they're
the
good.
Raiders, you mean?
Yeah.
You said the Ravens.
I said the Raiders and then the Ravens. Maybe not. I don't know. Raiders, are they good? They just beat the Steelers and the Ravens in back-to-back weeks. Their defense looks surprisingly good. The pass game looks a lot better. I called Henry Ruggs Darius Haywood Bay the other day, and I think I jinxed it right before they played the Steelers. I shouldn't have done that. That was a bad idea. He went off.
I like their...
Edwards is good. Waller's unguardable.
Yeah.
Their O-line's still pretty questionable, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, Carr's had 2 good weeks. I mean, I think they easily could be 1-1 or 0-2. I mean, I think they had a couple breaks go their way, especially the first week against the Ravens. The Ravens kind of spoon-fed them there in the last 37 seconds. How you let a team go from the 25 down to the whatever and get a field goal to tie it with no timeouts is beyond me. But play that prevent defense, prevent yourself to win. I can't stand it. But I'm just saying, the Raiders, I think they're better than a lot of people are going to give them credit for early on. They're 2-0. We'll see how they do this week, especially if, like you said,
if Carr can't go, then that's a big difference. But Carr looks really good. He looks like he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now. I think he's like 7th in the league in fantasy points right now.
Oh, he's got to be higher than that. He's got so many yards and touchdowns.
He doesn't rush, though.
That's
why he's not any higher than that. He's on that. He's of the ones that don't run. He's only behind Brady, I think. He might even be ahead of Stafford right now.
It's crazy. I still don't think they win that division. I don't know if they're going to be. I love when we get a good text like that. Sorry, everyone that's listening right now, but people are just coming to see Zach without a shirt. So if you're listening right now, go to our Facebook, our YouTube, or our Twitch thing. You can watch the replay of this.
It's pretty good.
It is a doozy. Just wait till next week when he loses again.
I've got my camo Dodgers hat on, but I think people can still see me.
Yeah, from space. All right, let's talk about the Saints.
I could not be
shocked
more
as I was about that.
I could not be more confused about the Saints. I don't know what they are. I don't know what's going on.
We gave Jameis the MVP last week as our overreaction.
Now we're like,
oh, this guy knows.
Now he might not even win comeback player of the year. I don't know.
That was a bad performance, but I think it's one of those things. They say it every year. There's always one team. I don't know if the Panthers got last in the division, but
the Panthers are going to be sneaky good. I think their defense is good. I think Sam Darnold might actually be a good quarterback, and they've got Christian McCaffrey. When he plays, they're pretty good.
Yeah, it's one of those things like in the NFL, almost every single year, a team that got last place in their division ends up winning it the next year. I mean, obviously, I don't think they're going to beat the Bucs and win that division, but you really just never know. Injury bug could come into play anytime.
COVID bug come into play.
Yeah, if old man Brady goes down, I don't know who the backup is for the Bucs, but it's not Tom Brady. It doesn't matter.
Brady wouldn't allow him to be good, so.
No.
He's actually probably pretty decent. All right, let's talk about that Monday night game, Troy. Ravens Chiefs.
I think it was a
Was that
Sunday
Sunday
night
night
game.
game? Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot.
the Monday night was the Lions Pack.
Packers. Yeah, that was boring. Tell me about this
Not if you have
Ravens
Aaron
game,
Jones.
Troy.
So I was at a wedding, so I'm getting updates as it's going on. I'm talking with my good buddy Vance, and he's a huge Chiefs fan. So
Chiefs were up 12 pretty early. I thought that game was over.
Yeah,
Lamar didn't
like
look
I
very
said,
good, and he
my
just came
reception
roaring back.
was my reception was spotty, so they were only giving me like every other update. ESPN app is the worst app for updates, but so I'm like, oh my gosh, what's happening? I haven't got any updates in like half hour, so I'm texting everybody trying to figure it out. And then I ended up watching the highlights, and that's a big win.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a very big win.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire with the all-time mistake at the end of that game, where your only job is to not fumble and to get to the middle of the field, and he gets peanut punched. He might not get to play very much after something like that. I think Travis Kelce called him out after the game.
I wouldn't let him play. That's so bad.
I believe he said, we win as a team or we lose as a team together, except this one. And it was Clyde Edwards-Helaire who fumbled and we lost the game, or something to that extent, which is pretty crazy. You don't hear that very often, but he deserves it.
Second year back, just blowing him up.
Yeah, first round pick. He was supposed to be this big thing, and it just hasn't happened yet. And it might not happen.
He's too small. He's too small.
I guess.
What else we got on there? What about the Titans go marching into Seattle and winning in a very, very tough place to play?
Well, the Titans finally realize that they have Derrick Henry on their team, and if they give him the ball, he will run over everyone. And then when they play action, everyone is open because you have to commit everyone to stop Derrick Henry, which is what they should have been doing last week. They would have won last week.
You put in that little jinx ski on Julio, and he had over 100.
Yeah.
He had a good week. Is A.J. Brown been doing anything? I have him on, I think, on one team, but I haven't really realized.
He had a big drop. I don't know what. I think they're still trying to figure out how this offense works with the new offensive coordinator, and I think he's going to start getting a lot more looks, but it's going to be a lot of running to Derrick Henry, and they should just play action every play. Even if it's like a jet sweep, or I guess it's a lot more effective when you have Derrick Henry, but just play action and run over and over and over again. And they can't stop it.
What'd you think of that Monday night game? I loved it.
I loved that the Lions started out kind of hot, and we got a lot of hot takes in the first half, and then the Packers just put it on them.
Well, yeah, it was like the first possession. I think the Lions just went right down their throat.
Yeah, they were up 17-14 for a while early in the game, and then the Packers just were too much.
Aaron Jones was bad. I mean, like, I think 3 of them were receiving. Well, one of them was that fake little run in front of the quarterback tip pass thing.
Yeah, 3 receiving, 1 rushing. He scored, like, depending on your league, like over 40 fantasy points.
Yeah, I got 45 for him in my big league, which was huge. I needed it.
That was a fun little game. I think the Packers are going to be good. I thought my other overreaction was that Aaron was kind of phoning it in and he was trying to get out of there, but he's pretty good at football.
I think the Lions are decent, though. I mean, they've at least competed
can put up some
with
points. Their defense is a dumpster fire, but they can score some points. And Jared Goff is better than I thought he would be in the not Sean McVay system. So we'll see.
No, they
have no receivers and they're scoring points. So good for them.
They've competed though in week 1 and week 2, which is all you really are asking for if you're a Lions fan, because you know they're not going to be that great.
He's making Hawkinson look good, which even Matt Stafford couldn't do when he was there.
Yeah. It helps when you're behind a lot too and you get to hoist it.
Yeah. All right, we're going to move on to week 3.
Let's do it. Let's tell them what's on the line first, though.
All right, instead of in our energy drink challenge, we switched it up last week, and we did a skins versus shirts bet last week, which apparently went terrible because I'm not wearing a shirt currently.
Went awesome.
So we're going to pick a different challenge this week. The loser of next week will have, they'll be wearing makeup applied by one of our wives before the show. I hope they go all out on you and you just look like Mimi from the Drew Carey show. That's my wish. That's all I want.
You look like a shirtless Mimi right now, so I mean, you don't even have makeup on. No, I'm pretty confident, now that there's stuff on the line that I'll like actually start paying attention. Week one, just doing it for the fans,
Week one's
doing it
tough,
for the
man.
crowd.
I felt good after
No,
week one. I thought I knew who the teams were. Week two kind of threw it all off. I think after like week 5, I'm gonna get it, and then I'm gonna start nailing them all. But it's been a weird start to the season, man. I don't understand who some of these teams are.
Yeah, I mean, even if you look at it, I mean, both of us picked the Steelers last week. They were big favorites. Raiders beat them. We both took the Saints, big favorites. Panthers rolled them.
Well,
Chiefs.
If I had to look at the injury report and saw that Devin Bush and Hayden were going to be out, it would have been something that I would have thought about a little bit more because I was on the fence. I think I even said last week that I had a feeling that the Raiders were going to beat them because they always do.
Yeah, usually in Oakland, but
doesn't matter.
They went. Pittsburgh punched him right in the face.
All right, Troy, let's get started with this week's games. We will recap the ones that are different at the end so everyone knows which ones we're really playing for. We'll start Thursday night. Did you get saucy? We got Panthers-Texans. The Texans have their backup quarterback. Any chance you pick the Texans in this game? Although they do look like a professional football team, which I did not see coming. After 2 weeks, they look pretty solid.
I didn't get saucy.
Okay. You went Panthers as well.
Yeah, Panthers -8, I think, is what the line's at right now.
I've got 8.5, which I just pulled up a couple hours ago. But there's a different site. But yeah, 8.5, that's a lot of points. I think that line even moves past that. So
the only thing that scares me is Thursday night, like I said last week. Even though they won by 1 on the last play of the game, the home team wins 80% of the time every time. So that's the only thing that kind of scares me with the short week and the travel. But I think too the better team usually wins because less prep.
Yeah,
they just have better athletes, I think.
New quarterback rookie quarterback getting his first start in a short week. I don't believe it.
They have that really good one too, don't they? That quarterback. Watson, he's on the roster.
He's going to be a non-dress cut for this week again. And probably he's on that Trevor Bauer list right now where he's just going to go away.
He should.
It's fair. All right, let's move on to Sunday morning. We've got Bills-Washington football team in Buffalo. 7.5-point favorite are the Bills.
Gotta go Bills.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's a question mark. Let's just put that in the book and send it to the line.
Yeah. Heineke starting for the football team. The Bills looked really good. After week 1, maybe this was something that I'd think about. Maybe
I think they needed that.
Playing. But the Bills just put it on the Dolphins last week, so I think the same thing. I think the Bills are going to win this thing going away.
I think it might be a low-scoring game. Washington football team's defense is decent, but I think the Bills win by 10, maybe 21-11, which is a weird number for the football team to have. But
It'd be a pretty football team to have 11, though.
All Eagles did it.
Let's move on to one that I didn't have highlighted. I started with the highlighter, and I picked the ones that I was really confident about, and I've moved on to blue pen after that to make my picks. Something about this game scares me. Browns-Bears in Cleveland. No Jarvis Landry. Baker's a little banged up. We got Justin Fields starting for the Bears, so I don't know what's going to happen on that side. The Bears look pretty good on defense. The Browns don't look like they can stop the run. Is it a big Montgomery game? Can they pull this off? It's a 7-point spread. What did you pick?
I think the Bears might cover, but I think it'd be silly not to take the Browns at home.
Okay. I also picked the Browns, but this was one of the ones where I could see the Bears winning this game. I don't know.
Oh, definitely. I think
I just don't know I don't believe from what I've seen of Justin Fields so far, I don't know that he's going to do much Although the
Yeah,
Browns defense has not looked as good as advertised coming into the season.
I think Myles Garrett might eat. He might have like 2 or 3 sacks.
I could see that.
He just looked lost a little bit. But like you said, though, actually getting the first team reps and like having the game plan towards him, they're probably going to
Being
run a
mentally
different.
prepared for the week to be the starter is a little different than.
I think they'll run different plays for him too. Like just have a different playbook in a sense for him than what they have for the Red Rocket.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Ravens Lions in Detroit. There's no way you picked the Lions because you're a Ravens fan.
No, no.
There's no way
Yep.
I picked the Lions because the Ravens looked really good and they just beat the Chiefs. So there's not much to discuss here.
A little worried
Ravens are the
about
better
maybe
team. The Ravens are going to
maybe
give
like
some points.
might be a little letdown game. You know, it might be close like in the third, but I think the Ravens will probably end up winning by double digits.
Yeah,
But that's the thing. That's the thing that scares me though. Like in the NFL, it's like there's always that one head scratcher every single week. You're like, what? I don't think it's going to be this one, but
there's some on
I
this
wouldn't be
list, man. I would be
surprised.
surprised by. All right, Titans, Colts. We're in Tennessee. Tennessee's 5.5-point favorites. Doesn't look like Wentz is going to play. He's got 2 sprained ankles, which I don't know how you sprained both ankles. That seems kind of weird.
Too many ankles.
So we don't know if Wentz is going to play, which is not a good sign. Although they do look pretty good. They're a pretty solid team all the way around. They got all the receivers involved. Who'd you pick, Troy?
I got to go Tennessee. I mean, they showed a lot going into Seattle and being a very good Seattle team, one of the best home teams career playing at home in front of the 73rd man or whatever they call him. So, yeah, I got to go Tennessee. I think they win by a touchdown.
I think the same thing. I think they just Derrick Henry them to death. That's what I would do if I was the Titans. It's going to work. Although their defense is pretty bad, the Colts can put up points. I think if Wentz does go, it gets interesting.
Yeah, that guy they brought in for Wentz, I believe, like on the last drive. Can't remember what his name was. Felt so bad for him.
Yeah.
Gibson or something.
Yeah, not good. All right. Chiefs Chargers division rival game. Chiefs are 6.5-point favorites. Did you get
They're at home,
saucy
right?
on this one? Yeah, we're in Kansas City.
No, you got to go Chiefs there. It's gonna be a bounce back game. I think it'll be a high scoring affair. I think probably like a 35-28, 35-31 type game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I don't think the Chiefs defense is very good, as you can't tell by
They can't stop anybody.
both weeks they played. I mean, the Chiefs could very easily be 0-2.
They can make a timely sack or get a stop when they need to in the second half, but I think all their games are going to be close, and luckily Mahomes is the best at those games.
Yeah, who did they play week 1 again? I can't recall. Where they probably should have lost.
I don't remember. I don't have it here in front of me.
Remember we were watching it when we were at Catherine's.
Week 1, Chiefs.
Cards?
No. I have it right here. This is great. This is great podcasting right here. They played the Browns. They had the Browns that week.
Oh, that's right. And the Browns were up late.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Browns had a Brown. That's what it was. So they could very easily be 0-2.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're as untouchable as they maybe on paper look like. But it's whatever team's playing the best at the end of the year. So I think they'll figure it out.
Yeah, I picked the Chiefs as well. I don't know that the Chargers can score enough points to keep up with them. So that is why I went that way. I think Eckler's going to have a big game. I think Keenan Allen will have a big game. I think this is the fantasy game you want. It's a 55-point over-under, which isn't even the biggest one this week, which is just insane that football's like this now. All right, let's move on to New England Saints. We're in New England. I stared at this one for a very long time before I decided who I was going to pick.
You pick first because I have one, but I feel like I always go first, and you always just go opposite just to be the opposite guy, and then you end up without a shirt. So I want you to have a chance on this one.
I'm going to pick the New England Patriots to pull it off at home. I don't know. The Saints, Belichick versus Sean Payton. It's going to be a really good matchup. I think Jameis is probably better than Mac Jones, but I think that Patriots run offense looks pretty good right now. Their defense is pretty solid. I think they pull it out.
Perfect, because I'm gonna go Saints.
Perfect. There we go.
I think MVP Jameis Winston figures it out. He relays X or whatever he needs to do. And I'm not sold on Mac Jones yet. They're 1-1. They beat a bad team. They lost to a bad team, if I remember correctly.
They lost to the Dolphins.
Yeah, I don't think the Dolphins are that good a team. So we'll see. I think this is their first true test. I think all around the Saints are the best team they've played yet. So we'll see. But I'm going to take the Saints. I think it's a bounce back game for them.
Okay. Giants Falcons in New York or in New Jersey. This is a snooze fest of a game, obviously, because you're yawning. I picked the Falcons. I don't know why. I can't explain it. I just don't think the Giants are capable of winning a game, and I think the league is conspiring against them by making them make their own dumb mistakes. I don't know how they lost that game last week. They should have won it 5 times.
Daniel Jones got carpet monstered, everything. Just people coming out of the floor.
Yep.
But I'm going to go the Giants,
Okay.
Because I like to be different and I like to pick the winners. So I'm going to go with the Giants because they're the best, not only in the NL West, but they're going to be the best in this game.
Oh, don't talk like that. Get out of here. You're so gross. Now, the Falcons have put up a ton of points the last 2 weeks. They just happen to play teams that are significantly better than them. So I think they bounce back. Yes, Vito, you are blinded by the light.
That's
just
song.
Me.
What's the next line in that song?
Revved up like a deuce. That's not what it sounds like. That's not what it sounds like.
Definitely not.
That's part of the appeal of that song. You're like, what did he just say?
What?
Why is this a famous song?
Hope he didn't do that on my coat.
All right, next game. This is a blue underline game. Steelers, Bengals. I would feel way more comfortable picking this game on Saturday or Sunday once we know the injury report.
You don't get to do that, though. Not here.
Yeah. Ben might not play. Deontay Johnson might not play. Hayden might not play. Watt might not play. Devin Bush missed last week. I didn't even see that one coming. I'm still going to pick the Steelers.
Yeah, I'm going to go Steelers, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not silly. I think there's no way that too good a head coach to lose 2 games in a row to bad teams at home.
The defense is too good for the Bengals. We saw what the Bengals do against a good defense.
And the Bears aren't even that good at defense.
The Bears aren't even that good at defense. The Steelers have a better defense than that. I think most of those guys will play. I think TJ Watt might and Joe Burrow. And Ben, if he plays, he owns the Bengals. That's all he does is beat the Bengals. So we'll take it. Vito says Ben's going to play. I have not read a report saying that he's questionable. So we'll see.
Well, my thing is, if it was in Cincinnati, maybe I would think a little bit harder about it, but you got to go Pittsburgh here.
Yeah.
It's worked for us the last week, at least.
Yeah. I don't know. The Bengals aren't the Raiders, though. The Raiders look pretty good. All right. Cards, Jags. I think this is probably the easiest pick this week.
Jags. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going Cards. Cards are good.
Cards are good. I think the Jags are just bad. I think Urban Meyer might be already trying to get out of this contract to go be USC's coach.
I think Cards might win that division.
They're good, man. The Rams are pretty good, too.
Offensively, very good. Their defense is very good. Well, I think the Rams might get a big old L this week, but we'll talk about that when we get to it.
All right, I think we're going to be opposites on that one. Well, I know he will because I have my picks written down. All right, let's move on to Broncos Jets. The biggest line of the week, 11 points. 41 points is the over under. 11-point
I'd
spread in a 41 game. That's just bonkers.
I'd
Take
go
the
under.
take the under for sure, but don't pick the Jets because they are garbage.
It's gonna be like 17-3.
Yeah. You got the Broncos right?
Yeah.
There's no way you could pick the Jets. They just look not redeemable.
Jetty.
Very jetty. That offensive line is just scary bad. And I feel bad for Zach.
Terrible name for one.
Yeah. It hasn't worked out
But
for any quarterbacks, I don't think, ever.
I don't think any Zach's ever worked out that I know.
I'm sure there's one.
Haven't met him.
I haven't met him, but I'm sure there's one. All right, Raiders, Dolphins in Vegas. No Tua. 4-point spread for the Raiders. Maybe no Derek Carr. I'm sure that would swing this pick quite a bit if we find out for sure. Who do you got, Trey?
I'm going Raiders. I think them without Tua. Jacoby Brissett doesn't really move the needle for me. Never has.
I don't think he's really a line mover, though. I think they're about the same quality-wise, but I really like this Raiders team. I'm going to pick them as well. Their defense is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. They're scoring points all over the place. Their wide receivers look really good. They can move the ball. And the
Their
Dolphins
offense
just looked so bad last week.
The thing I like about the Raiders' offense is it's just different and exciting. They're running some plays that you really haven't seen, and they got the athletes now to do it. So
they've got those Al Davis guys. They got a bunch of really fast guys. Waller is always open. Renfro is like the poor man's Cooper Kupp. They've got some players, man.
Not only that is the Raiders are, undefeated in Vegas with fans, so it's kind of hard to root against those numbers.
You know how hard it would be to travel to Vegas and then play a football game there, like you're hanging out? Like if I was the coach, I'd be like, no, we're flying in Sunday morning, and then we're going to go play after that. We're not spending the Saturday night in Vegas before we go play this football game.
I bet you, though, they get after it Sunday night.
Oh, yeah.
They don't fly it. Monday's an off day. We'll see it.
They're probably calling the league. Can we have a bye week after the in Vegas game?
Yeah, we're just going to stay for a couple of days. It's a win.
Yeah. All right, our game of the week, Bucks, Rams in LA. Sounds like you're going to pick the Bucks. Walk me through it.
I don't know. I've been back and forth on this. I think the Bucks are the best team right now in the NFL. I think they prepare well. I think that Brady's just somehow still the best quarterback of the NFL.
Well, he has like 4 elite targets that he can throw the ball to.
That's what I mean. It's like, everyone's guarded. I guess I'll throw it to one of the best tight ends of all time. Oh, he's wide open. All right, cool.
Well, we might not have Antonio Brown this week. He is in the COVID protocols right now. But I don't think it matters. They still have Godwin and Evans and Gronk. And
good running backs and good defense.
They'll probably just like sign T.O. for the week, and he'll just play and get like 8 catches.
Ocho Cinco.
Yeah. He'll come back. Randy Moss says he thinks he could score a touchdown. Just bring him in. Brady will throw it to him.
I say you line them up. Him and Rice. All right, opposite sides.
I am going to pick the Los Angeles Rams of Los Angeles. And I think they look really good, man. I think Sean McVay sees this as like a weird Super Bowl rematch game, even though it's just Brady that was on that team.
Yeah.
And maybe Gronk. And, I think he's going to – this is what our offense is supposed to look like when we don't have Jared Goff as our quarterback. And I think they're going to score a whole bunch of points. And I think Donald can get some pressure up the middle, which is literally the only thing that can beat Tom Brady, is a 4-man rush that's solid and gets there.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams won. It's 2 really good teams, but...
Yeah, it's a 1.5-point spread, which means they have no idea who's going to win this game.
Well, it's like 4.5 because I think the Bucks are in the road. So, I don't know. I think Bucks are better. I mean, literally either team, like you said, is basically a pick 'em.
Yeah. All right, Seahawks, Vikings. This was another blue underline game for me.
This is a weird one. I think it's -2. Seattle on the road.
Yeah, I got 1.5.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, I'm going to go first, and then you can make your pick. I am going to pick the Minnesota Vikings, who have looked
Okay.
pretty good for not winning either of their games. I think they can score the ball. They're moving it all over the place. I think Seattle will too. I think it'll be a shootout. I don't think Minnesota's this bad, so I think they have to win this week. You can't start 0-3. That's just like a death sentence. They're going to win this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Minnesota too.
What? Okay.
Just because I don't think Seattle's as good as people think.
That's fair.
I just don't know. I don't think Minnesota's really good either. But like you said, this is a must win for Minnesota.
It's
They've
kind
got
of a
the
must win for Seattle too, though.
both teams.
They
Yeah.
both have to win this game, but it's more dire for Minnesota. They're basically out if they lose this week.
Yeah, I think Dalvin Cook's gonna probably dominate the game, and then Thielen's been good.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird game. I don't like it.
I just have a feeling the Vikings are going to win, and that's all I really have insight wise on that game. I don't think they're
Yeah.
that bad. I don't think they're an 0-3 team. I think they're going to win this one.
Yeah, I could definitely see either team winning.
All right, Niners Packers.
Sunday night.
I have an orange highlighter pick on this one,
Which means what?
which means I was confident in who was going to win this game.
I'm gonna go Packers.
Okay.
Is that who you had?
It's not, but I'm going to switch it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to pick the Packers too. Although the Niners historically have owned the Packers, I think the Packers are kind of have this one circled, and I think Aaron Rodgers has this one circled. Even if he's going to not try the rest of the year, I think he really wants to beat the Niners. And there's too many
It's
weird injury things going on with San Francisco right now.
Yeah, I think the Packers are the better team. I don't like the 3.5 point spread. At least that's what I had for the Niners.
Yeah.
I think if the Niners do win, it might be by a field goal late, but I think the Packers will be able to figure out the Niners defense. I don't think the Niners defense is as daunting as people thought to come into the.
Yeah, I don't think their corners are very good, so they'll have a fun time. Adams still hasn't scored a touchdown yet. I think Rodgers is going to make sure that happens this week. And Aaron Jones is super good.
Keep giving it to Jones, baby.
They should. He's really good.
It might be one of those games though where Niners might get one early, and then Aaron Jones just fades away, and I don't know. I'm gonna still go the Packers though.
Okay, I picked that one as well. All right, Monday night, Cowboys Eagles. This is like a new color. I have no idea what to do with this game. I'm gonna let you pick this one. Yeah, I'm gonna let you pick this one first.
I hate going hero, but I think I'm gonna go the Eagles just because I don't know if I'm.
I knew you would. You just love saying "Fly Eagles Fly."
Fly Eagles fly, baby. I just don't know if Cooper's gonna play, and I think that's a big hit to the Dallas offense. And if he does play, he's gonna be on a pitch count. I don't think they want him to get hurt worse. I mean, Lamb's been good. Zeke and Pollard run the ball well, but I just think the Eagles the Cowboys aren't going to stop the Eagles the way that the Niners were able to. So I think the Eagles are going to put up some points. I'm seeing it being a pretty high scoring game. I think like similar to that game I talked about earlier.
So.
Yeah, I think like a 35-28 type matchup. So I'm going to go Eagles by 3.
All right. I'm going to pick the
Book it.
Dallas Cowboys. Book it. No, I got the Dallas Cowboys. They're looking better. The offense is clicking. The running game was looking better. I don't think it's going to be great against the Eagles, but I think they can throw the ball downfield. I think they can score some points, and the defense is just good enough that they'll be able to slow down the Eagles, and I think they're going to win this game.
Well, I hope you're wrong, so I don't have to wear makeup next week. So let's do a little recap. How many games on your little shirtless shirt do you have?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Again, 4.
Do you want to switch one to make it 5 so that there's no chance of a tie?
Tie goes to the runner, so we're both screwed.
That's true.
No, I just say if we tie, we do best of 3 virtual rock paper scissors, and the loser has to wear makeup.
Fair enough.
I feel like that's the safest way to do it.
Fair enough. Okay. So those are our 4 games. We have Patriots, Saints. I have the Patriots. Troy has the Saints. We have Giants, Falcons. Troy has the Giants. I have the Falcons. Bucks, Rams. Troy has the Bucks. I have the Rams. Cowboys, Eagles. I have the Cowboys. Troy has the Eagles. Those are our 4 different picks this week. God, I hope I win next week. Because I think Heather's going to be really mean about it if we do it.
I mean, nothing could be meaner than you without a shirt. So, I mean, no matter what she does, it's going to be nicer for me. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man. You're looking good, though. I think you're a little tanner than I remember.
Well, no, look at my arm. Let's see if I get my arm in there. I'm actually pretty tan. If you can catch a perfect angle of it, yeah. I'm pretty white. You can tell by my neck.
Well, yeah, you wear the swim shirt.
That's to protect me from getting sunburnt.
No,
and
I'm just saying you're not
protecting the public from seeing me with that shirt on.
Yeah, but do it on a podcast. It's fine. That's all I'm saying is the only time you'd be in the sun without a shirt is swimming, and you wear the swim shirt. So
yeah. All right. Do we have?
I almost called you out when we first got on. I'm like, why is that guy wearing a wife beater? That is a white body.
All right, Trey. Do we have anything else this week? We didn't have any grab bags or any games or anything this week, I don't think.
Nothing fun, just getting down to business.
Just get down to business. So we will we'll post those picks. We'll have a poll up on our Instagram tomorrow. Get your picks on who you have.
Just so you guys know, you guys were all right last week. You guys picked that I was going to be the champion, and I was. So I appreciate all the love there on social media and people just being smart, honestly, and just picking the right person.
That's all right. So make sure that you follow us on social media at Spivey Special on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We've got different stuff on all of that stuff going on. If you're not watching us live on Twitch or Facebook or YouTube, you can do that every Wednesday at 8:30 Pacific time.
Or you can go back on all 3 of those platforms and go ahead and watch the replay of the video. Like I said, if you guys are just listening to it on your normal podcast listening station, go in, jump on one of those 3 platforms, follow us, because everyone's doing it, especially Twitch and YouTube. That'd be huge for us. So if you guys could do that, go check Zach without a shirt, check me with a shirt because I won, and everyone will be happy.
Shout out to our listeners in Georgia. And shout out to the one listener that we have in Russia. We appreciate you, guy from Russia. I don't know who you are or if that was a legit thing, but we like that guy. Or girl. We don't know anything about him.
Gotta be a plug. I think after this week, we lost all our female viewers.
Well, we got Bobbins on right now. I think I'm definitely tanner than Bobbins, so...
Challenge. Bobbins, if you could send us a shirtless picture. I know that's weird, but
Heather woke up just in time to get me without the shirt on, so thank you, Heather, for joining us.
We'll put it side by side. If Vito wants to take a shirtless picture too, we'll lose all our fans real quick. Be perfect. Vito's cussing down there. I don't know what he's doing.
He said it was Putin. That's who's listening to the podcast, and I believe that.
It's blocked out on mine. I must not have the MA chat on. Apparently that's a cuss word.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right, Trent, we got anything else this week?
Zach.